Hi there, I'm Yudhika Sujanani and welcome to Sugar and Spice. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be taking you through some of my very favorite recipes, and today I'm going to kick off with one of my best recipes, which is a chili butter prawn and chocolate volcanoes. So the first thing we're going to do is melt this chocolate. So I've got some boiling water going into a pan. And then we're going to break up this chocolate. Now it's important to always melt the chocolate over gentle simmering water. So I'm going to pop that here, and we're just going to break the chocolate. The good thing about using a really thin slab is that you don't have to chop it up. Break that up like so. And we're just going to pop that on top of the boiling water, and we're going to let that melt. It's important also not to heat it up too much. You don't want to cook the chocolate, you just want to melt it. So some of the little bits are not going to be melted through, but we are still going to remove it from the heat and then give it a stir through to make sure everything melts down and it doesn't get too hot. Okay, the chocolate's done, and I'm going to let this cool slightly. And now we're going to start beating up the ingredients, which is 200 grams of butter going in here. We're just going to beat this until it's light and fluffy, and then we're going to add some icing sugar. And it's important to actually scrape down the sides of the bowl, so I'm going to do that. And you can see this is very, very light and fluffy now. Next, I'm going to add the egg yolks, just one at a time. And after each egg, you just add some of the measured flour. Okay. There we go. And we're going to beat this again. The next one goes in. So after the egg yolks have been added, scrape down the sides of the bowl. And now we're going to be adding the whole eggs. Okay. Just also adding them one at a time and beating well after each addition. The butter, sugar, eggs have been well mixed and they're light in color. Now I'm going to add the chocolate flour and cocoa powder. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pour in the cool chocolate. Cool chocolate always works better so it doesn't melt the butter. So that goes in. It's lovely and silky and smooth. And try not to use normal milk chocolate for this recipe, it just won't work. Okay. So it's a bit of a messy dessert, but it really is very special. So you're just going to work around the edges and work the chocolate through. And you scrape the bottom of the bowl and the sides of the bowl as well. Just want to be very, very light when you're doing this, not to overwork the batter. Now I'm going to sieve this cocoa powder and flour into the mixture as well. I'm a very, very messy chef, so I tend to make a really big mess when I'm working in the kitchen. Now you get those lumpy cocoa bits, just use a teaspoon and work them through your sieve. Okay, that's done. The batter's now ready. So to prepare the ramekins, I'm going to use some butter. And we're just going to grease these with a bit of cool butter, like so. And I think the best tool to have in a kitchen are your fingers. I think those little brushes and stuff don't really get exactly where you want them to be. It's really important to grease these ramekins quite well, because if you don't, these volcanoes are going to get stuck in these little containers and you're not going to be able to get them out. So now I'm going to dust these ramekins with a bit of flour. And here, a little teaspoon of flour going in, and you're just going to shake it around, and it's a foolproof way of getting these volcanoes out of these containers. Okay, use a little side plate, and you're just going to tip this out and tap it gently to get the flour out. Now I'm going to pop some of this mixture into these ramekins. So just use a tablespoon, and what you can do is just lift a bit of that mixture and scoop it into the ramekins like this. I'd say about 2.5 to 3 tablespoons per ramekin. I'm going to pop these into the oven for 15 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius. And now for the chili butter prawns. Now this is a very simple recipe. It has butter, prawns, garlic, lemon juice, and also lots of coriander and a bit of salt to season. So quite simple, but the flavor is amazing. So I'm going to get started with the garlic, and you need about 4 cloves of garlic. Nice plump ones would do nicely. Okay, so you're just going to bash down on that garlic to loosen the skin. Okay, so you can see they come away quite easily, and pop them into a mortar. I've got quite an old-fashioned Indian one. My gran has one exactly like it, but it works beautifully. Right, so just loosen those skins and pop them through. Now I like lots of garlic, and I tend to eat garlic over the weekend when I'm not having to work or to go to any meetings. And stamp down quite hard. And now to prep the prawns. These have been defrosted and they have the shell on and the tail on, and these are the best ones to use because the prawn meat that's beautiful and perfect and pink, that's already been pre-cooked. So here I'm going for the old-fashioned option, one with more work and a bit smelly as well. So to prepare these prawns, you're actually going to grab a scissors and slip the scissors between the head and the body of the prawn, and you're just going to slice through all the way down the back of the prawn to the tail. Okay, you don't need to use a knife to do this, just a good scissors would do. Okay, and open it up slightly, and there's the vein, and you're just going to pop the vein out. Okay. Gonna give these a good rinse, leave them in a colander to drain for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna cook them up. Now I'm ready to cook up these prawns, so I've heated up a pan and I'm going to pour in a swig of olive oil. Now this is cooking olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil. Give that a swirl around the pan just to make sure the pan's evenly coated. And here are the prawns that have been drained. And now you're going to have to watch because it does make a real big mess. And they change color quite quickly, so you're going to have to work quite quickly with them. And see, they turn a beautiful pink. And I'm going to add some salt to that. Some rough salt. I always cook with rough salt. The garlic goes in. Garlic does not go into the oil because it will burn and it will give off that nasty bitter flavor. So the garlic goes in, and now you're going to stir this through. Just want the garlic to be nice and fragrant rather than fully cooked. Red chili powder. You can use paprika as well if you like. I quite enjoy a bit of red chili in these prawns. So you're going to stir the chili through and heat it up gently so it doesn't burn. Oh, that looks amazing. Now for the butter. I'd say a generous block of butter going in. Wow, I love watching this butter melt into these prawns. That looks so good. Keep stirring to make sure the prawns are cooked on both sides. So if you have fussy eaters at home, you can always shell and devein the prawns, but just remember to cut down on the cooking time. Lastly, some lemon and then coriander. So just going to squeeze some lemon into this. Fresh lemon is so much better. And next, some fresh coriander. Just going to roughly chop it. I'm all about rustic cooking. And in the coriander goes. And that is my chili butter prawns. chocolate volcanoes are ready. And so are the prawns. So here they are. And now for the volcanoes. You're going to let these rest for about 30 seconds before unmolding them. I'm very excited about these chocolate volcanoes. I'm just going to have a quick peep and see if they've fallen out of the ramekins. And there we have it. To serve this, I'm going to pop on a dollop of double thick cream, which hasn't been sweetened. There's enough calories in there already. So just scoop that on top. And then a gorgeous cherry. Ooh, yum. AMC is giving away this paella pot valued at 3,000 Rand. To win one of these fantastic giveaways, go to www.saffrontv.co.za. Spar is giving away 5 1,000 Rand shopping vouchers. To win one of these vouchers, go to www.saffrontv.co.za. Curry Me Home is giving away a fabulous KitchenAid blender valued at 3,000 Rand. For more details, log on to www.saffrontv.co.za.
Whirlpool is giving away this fantastic Jet Chef microwave oven. To win this exclusive giveaway, go to www.saffrontv.co.za.